Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I just wanted to take a minute real quick at the beginning and thank y'all for all the love, all the prayers, all the thoughts on my post the other day about Andy's stepdad. You guys are awesome. I knew you would understand. Y'all are just good people and thank you for all of that. So today I have a new week of dinners to share with y'all. I share these every Sunday to hopefully give you some new meal ideas and motivate you to cook for your family. So if you're new here and you like those kinds of videos, I hope you will subscribe down below. And this week's What's for Dinner is also a collab with my friend Megan over at Megan's Kitchen. I have collabed with her before, but if you haven't checked her out before, please make sure you go subscribe. If you like my What's for Dinners, I know you'll like hers, and she does grocery hauls and stuff like that as well. She's just like me, like sharing the real life, like whether she's eating out, eating a bowl of cereal, or cooking, like she shares it all. And I love What's for Dinners like that because they're very realistic and kind of give me an idea of like that everybody is out here struggling just like me. But yeah, so make sure you go check out her channel. It will be linked in the description box down below. So a Friday night, we had a storm roll through that lasted all of 15 minutes, but it was crazy. 60 miles per hour wind, there was hail, and as you can see by the picture on the screen, a tree fell on my neighbor across the street's house. Right at 5:45, as I was like about to start dinner, the power went out, and I was gonna make spaghetti, couldn't make spaghetti. We didn't know how long the power was gonna be out. We waited a little bit. But a lot of people in our city were without power, so we decided to found something to eat. So we ended up going to Chili's, and I forgot to get a picture. But then while we were out to dinner, I got a text from the city that it could be like 12 hours without power. So we decided to get a hotel room because it was very hot. That whole week it was like nearly 100 degrees. And so we got a hotel room, and we asked our neighbor to text us and let us know when the power was back on because he was staying home. And thankfully it wasn't off that long. It was only off like just under 4 hours. So everything in our fridge and freezer was safe. We never opened it once. That pound of ground beef that I had out for spaghetti, I ended up tossing because I was like, I don't want to risk opening the fridge and making food go bad because we had no idea how long it was going to be out. So if we didn't open it, things would stay cooler in there longer. So we just called the 1 pound of ground beef a loss and stayed in a hotel that night. So Saturday we did have spaghetti. Well, at least the rest of the family did. I made it, and then like halfway through cooking it, I was like, I do not want marinara sauce. It's not what I want today. I made it for everybody else, but for me, I just had some like garlic Parmesan butter noodles, and then we had some garlic bread, and it was delicious. I did have to thaw out a new pound of ground beef, but it was okay. Sunday night, we tried a new recipe for a chicken bacon ranch crescent ring. This is new to us, but it sounded really good. So in a big bowl, I'm starting to mix together like the filling, and for that, I am mixing together some milk and some chive and onion cream cheese. I used this Tillamook one, and it was pretty good. And then also about a tablespoon of the ranch like seasoning packet, and then I stuck this in the microwave for a couple minutes to kind of melt that cream cheese. I did it in 30-second intervals, and I did it like 3 times till it was nice and smooth and everything. It could mix together really well. And then to that, I added about 2 cups of cooked chicken. I just cooked this chicken up in the air fryer. And then also some bacon. I used that like pre-cooked bacon and just warmed it in the microwave so it could get a little bit crispy. And then about a cup of cheddar cheese. And then the last thing that I added to this was some sliced green onions. Then I set that filling to the side and began working on the crescent shape. So I've got a round pizza pan here that I've covered with foil. You don't have to cover your pan with foil, but mine has holes in it, and so I cover it with foil. So you're gonna need 2 packages of crescent rolls, and you're just gonna line them up in like a circle shape with the points, like the long points of the crescent rolls sticking out. So you make like kind of like a sun shape. I suck at describing this. Every single time that I make a crescent like ring like this, I always say that I suck at describing it. But If you watch the video, you can kind of see how I'm laying this out. And then once I've got it all laid out, I'm going to take that filling and spread it evenly around the whole ring, and then fold those points in to cover up that filling. And then I brushed this with some garlic butter. And then it went in the oven on 375 for 25 minutes. I just served this with some salad on the side for those of us that like salad, and of course just some fresh veggies for Lily. So this was pretty good. If you really like creamy things like this, I say go for it, try it. For my family in the future, I think I would cut the sour cream in half. It was just a little bit too creamy for us, but the flavor of it was really good. Andy, the whole time, he was like thinking to himself, like, I feel like I'm eating a cheese ball with added bacon and then wrapped in crescent dough, which is not a bad thing, but he doesn't prefer like the creamy meals. And Elijah told me like it was like a cheese ball. He was like, my favorite part is the cheese ball on the inside. So everybody agreed pretty much that it tasted like a cheese ball with added chicken and then crescent dough on the outside. So if that sounds good to you, definitely give this recipe a try. It will be linked down below. Monday night, I made some sliders with these everything brioche rolls from Aldi. So I'm just going to open them up and then cut them in half and lay them on my sheet pan. I'm only doing a portion of this because my husband Andy was going to be at work. And anytime we do sliders or something like this, I always make his fresh when he gets home later in the evening. That way he doesn't have to reheat them, because in my opinion, they're okay reheated, but they're not the best. So I will just throw some together for him when he gets home. So just cut these in half horizontally. So we've got bottom buns and top buns. And then what I am making is some chili cheese sliders. I had made some hot dog chili a couple weeks back for Lily's birthday. I made that in the crock pot, and ever since we had a bunch of leftovers of that, I was like, you know what sounds really good? Some chili cheese sliders, like kind of like a sloppy joe, but chili instead. So I thawed out that chili because I had frozen it, and then I just threw it on these slider buns, topped it with a bunch of cheddar cheese, then put the top buns on. And I did brush the top buns with some butter and then cover this with foil, and then it went in the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes. To go with these, I just made some tots in the air fryer, and these are pretty good. I don't think I loved the everything slider buns with the chili. Like, I think it was an odd, like, flavor combination. They were still good. We still ate them, but I think in the future I would just use like regular plain slider buns and just brush them with butter. The everything ones, though, are really good with ham and cheese sliders. So if you make those, everything ones are really good with that. Tuesday night was Taco Tuesday, so I just cooked up some ground beef with some taco seasoning, and we had that on some hard shells. I had some sour cream, some lettuce, some tomatoes, some Taco Bell sauce. The kids even had some Taco Bell sauce on their tacos. They are branching out and trying new things. Lily had tomatoes on one of hers, and Elijah had lettuce on his, and then we just had some refried beans with some cheese on top. Wednesday night, I made some fried rice to go with our orange chicken. I'm just using the frozen Sam's Club orange chicken again. It's not our favorite, but it is good. So to go with that, I'm making some fried rice, as I said. And it's been a little while since I've shown my fried rice, so I thought I would show it today. I started off by just heating up a little bit of vegetable oil and some sesame seed oil. And then once that was hot, I added in a little bit of the whites from the green onion and just let that cook for about a minute. Then I add in my cold cooked white rice. I use my perfect white rice recipe that I make in the Instant Pot. This was 2 cups of rice and 2 cups of water in the Instant Pot. So obviously that, like, I don't know, doubles or whatever. I never measure it, but I always cook 2 cups of white rice and then use that. And just make it either early in the day and stick it in the fridge, or the night before and then stick it in the fridge. But you want to have cold rice to make your fried rice. It just like fries up better. I don't know why, but I have better luck with fried rice when you use cold rice. So I get that in there in the pan, get it all coated with that oil that was in the pan, and then I add in a little bit of pepper. I used white pepper just because I had it, and then also some garlic powder. And then I just let that cook for a couple of minutes. I kind of try to break up the rice because sometimes it kind of like clumps together when it's cold. So kind of break it up, but then spread it out and just let it cook and get heated through for a couple of minutes. Once my rice is nice and heated through, I go in with my sauces. So I like to do a little bit of hoisin sauce, a little bit of oyster sauce, and then like a lot of soy sauce. You will see I accidentally poured a very large amount of hoisin sauce in here, and I panicked and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I thought about leaving it and I was like, no, hoisin sauce is like kind of sweet. That's gonna make my fried rice like super sweet. So I just like scooped out as much of it as I could, and then I added in a little bit of oyster sauce, and then, as I said, a lot of soy sauce, which Elijah wanted to help with that, so he added in some of the soy sauce. And I don't measure these things. It's all based on color and taste. So I just kind of look for the right color. You want your rice to be like tan. And then you can taste it and see how it tastes and see if you need to add anything else. So I just get that to where I want it to be, and then let it cook for, again, just a couple of minutes. Then I go in and push my rice to one side and add in a little bit of frozen mixed vegetables. I drizzle them with a little bit of the soy sauce and can just kind of let them steam for a minute over there on the one side. And then I'll mix them in with the rest of the rice. And then I will push it to the side once again and add in some eggs. I have scrambled together like 4 eggs with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'll pour those on that side. Put a lid on this and let this cook for a few minutes. I actually semi forgot about this, and this day is just like full of me like messing up, but let my eggs cook a little bit longer than I usually do. They got kind of browned on the bottom, but it turned out fine, tasted fine. But usually they're still a little like liquidy when I come in here and start pushing them around and scrambling them. But it turned out. I just kind of broke them up and then mixed them in with the rice. And then I just tasted this. I think I added a little bit more soy sauce because I think it needed a little bit more. And then I just let this cook, let it get nice and crispy. If you like your fried rice pretty crispy, like, try not to stir it often. Like, let the bottom cook and get crispy. You'll see there's like some brown bits. Then you can stir it, get some more crispy on the bottom. And it's a kind of a slow process, but also this is pretty quick to make. It doesn't take too long at all. So here are our plates. We've got that Sam's Club orange chicken. As I said, this is in the freezer section. It comes with the sauce. I air fry it, and it's pretty good. It's not our favorite orange chicken, so I probably won't buy it again. We love the one from Trader Joe's. The sauce in that Trader Joe's one is it's just so good. It's definitely better than this one. And then I prefer the meat in the Trader Joe's one as well. It has like a combination of like white and dark meat, whereas this one from Sam's Club is just white meat. So if you prefer like white meat chicken, this might be the one for you. But I really like the combination in the Trader Joe's one. So we just had that on top of our fried rice, and then I topped mine with some green onion. Thursday night is when the kids have martial arts, so I've been trying to do like crock-pot meals. So this one I saw on TikTok. It's Salisbury steak meatballs. So I have this bag of meatballs that I picked up at Kroger. They're not my favorite, but they were okay. And I decided to air fry them first before putting them in the crock pot to give them a better texture, like get them a little bit crispy on the outside. So I just put them on my air fryer basket and spritzed them with some olive oil spray. This olive oil spray was the Pam one, and I just refill it with straight olive oil, and it works out fine. It comes out fine. Some people said that you had to add like alcohol to get it to spray. I haven't had to do that. Just straight up olive oil in there, and it works fine. So I got my meatballs in the air fryer. I did them on 375 for about 12 minutes. And while they were cooking, I got my like sauce mixture together in my crock pot. So I did about 3 cups of chicken broth, and then 2 packets of brown gravy, a little squirt of ketchup, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some garlic powder, onion powder, and a lot of black pepper. And then I just whisked that all together really well. Then I added in 1 small onion that I sliced up, and then when my meatballs were done, I added those in as well and gave everything a good stir. Then I put the lid on this and let it cook on low for about 6 hours. And here's what it looked like when we got home from martial arts. I just gave it a good stir. In the original recipe that I had seen, she had at this point taken out all of her meatballs and then fried them in a skillet. That's why I air fried mine first, so that would save me a step in the evening. And then she also used some cornstarch to thicken up her gravy, but I thought mine was perfectly thick enough, so I did not do that. But if yours does need to be thickened, you can thicken it with a little bit of cornstarch and water. And then to go with this, I just heated up a can of green beans real fast. And then before we actually left for martial arts, I made some mashed potatoes in my Instant Pot and then just left them on the keep warm setting. And they were still perfect when we got home. So we had our Salisbury steak meatballs on top of the mashed potatoes. This was delicious. The only thing that would make it better were some better meatballs. But honestly, it was really good. Like, if you ate those like frozen Salisbury steak as a kid, it's like similar to that but better, because the meatballs are still better than that like texture of the Salisbury steak, but something about that is just like nostalgic. So it was really good. I think I might try at some point to make it with like my homemade meatballs and like cook those in the air fryer and then toss them in the crock pot to cook all day. I think I might try that in the future, but overall this was really good and I would definitely recommend it. And that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner video. If you got any new meal ideas, let me know in the comments down below what you plan on trying. And don't forget, as I mentioned at the beginning, this was a collab with my friend Megan, so please make sure you go check out her channel and subscribe. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!